Frozen cities, radioactive borders, backyard monsters. From brutal realism to wild imagination, these survival games will test everything. Your wits, your will, and maybe even your friendships. Ready to build, fight, and survive? Let's go! Kicking off today's list is Project Zomboid. A game that doesn't just want you to survive the zombie apocalypse. It wants you to live every painful second of it. At first glance, Project Zomboid may look like a simple isometric survival sim, but once you're in, it's terrifyingly deep. You're dropped into a quiet town with nothing but your clothes, no tutorial, no hand-holding, just one rule: this is how you died. Survival here isn't about blasting through hordes. It's about managing food, water, sleep, wounds, and most of all, your own dumb decisions. Forgot to close a window? That's a zombie in your kitchen. Burnt your dinner? Congrats, now half the neighborhood knows you're home. What makes Project Zomboid special is how it rewards caution and punishes carelessness. Every action matters and death is permanent. Honestly, it feels less like a game and more like a simulation of pure, relentless survival. And that's exactly why it's so damn good. If Project Zomboid is about slow, creeping dread, then Lost Rift throws you straight into the chaos, guns blazing, tension high, and nowhere to hide. Developed by the folks behind Bulletstorm and Painkiller, this is a survival shooter where the line between PvE and PvP is razor thin. You're stranded on a mysterious island that looks peaceful. Until it doesn't. Every expedition is a gamble. Go in for loot, but risk running into other desperate players doing the same. What sets Lost Rift apart is the extraction-style survival, where surviving isn't just about fighting, it's about knowing when to leave. You might have all the gear, but one greedy step too far and it's all gone. Personally, I love how it mixes tight gunplay with survival tension. It's not just another looter shooter, it's a test of nerve. Do you play it safe, or do you go deeper for just one more crate? One thing's for sure in Lost Rift, survival is never guaranteed, only earned. After the chaos of Lost Rift, we step into the scorching sands of Dune Awakening, a survival MMO where even the terrain wants you dead. Set on the planet Arrakis, you're not just fighting to stay alive, you're fighting for spice, power, and control. Blistering heat, political intrigue, massive sandworms. It's survival with high stakes and higher ambition. What sets Dune Awakening apart is how it mixes classic survival elements, gathering, crafting, building, with large-scale PvP and shifting alliances. It's not a quiet, solo journey. It's a living war zone where your worst enemy might be the desert itself, or the player who smiled at you yesterday. Personally, I love how Dune Awakening brings the Dune universe to life while still being brutally grounded in survival gameplay. If you want challenge, tension, and scale, this one should be on your radar. Let's be honest, Rust doesn't care about your feelings. It drops you into the world naked, afraid, and completely unprepared, then laughs as you get clubbed by another player 5 minutes later. But that's exactly what makes it brilliant. At its core, Rust is about earning your place in a brutal, unpredictable world. You'll start by bashing rocks and gathering wood, slowly building tools, weapons, and eventually, a base. But survival isn't just about crafting, it's about dealing with people, and Rust's player interactions are where things get wild. You might trade with someone one day, then get raided by them the next. You might form a clan or betray one. Every choice has consequences, and every moment feels like it could turn into pure chaos. What I love about Rust is how no two sessions are the same. It's frustrating, hilarious, and rewarding in the most unfiltered way possible. If you want a survival game that's as much about psychology as it is about survival, Rust delivers, with a sledgehammer. Let's take a break from zombies and raiders. Quite a Ride is a survival game where your worst enemy might be fog and your best friend, a bicycle. You wake up in a deserted world covered in thick mist. You have a phone that slowly dies, and the only way to charge it is by pedaling. While cycling through empty towns and creepy labs, you decrypt strange messages and try to piece together what happened. It's a weird concept, but a good one. The constant need to keep moving gives the game a tense rhythm. Stop pedaling and you risk being stranded in the unknown. The fog hides dangers and every turn of the road feels like a gamble. What I like most is the quiet unease. Quite a Ride doesn't rely on jump scares or gunfights. It builds survival through atmosphere, motion, and curiosity. It's not the flashiest game here, but it stays with you. From foggy mystery to backyard madness, Grounded shrinks the survival genre down to the size of an ant, and somehow makes it even more intense. You and up to 3 friends wake up tiny, lost in what used to be an ordinary backyard. But now it's a jungle of towering grass, giant bugs, and strange science labs. You'll craft weapons from twigs, build bases out of leaves, and yes, run for your life from a evolved spider the size of your house. It's cute, but it's still survival. Food, shelter, and strategy are essential, especially when night falls. And here's the good news. Grounded Part 2 just dropped on July 29, 2025. New areas, new threats, and more backyard lore to uncover. If you've never tried Grounded, now's the perfect time to jump in or jump back. Personally, I love how the world feels alive. And steal your gear, bees chase you off, every corner holds surprises. Grounded is small-scale survival done right, and it just keeps getting better. If the original The Long Dark made you feel isolated, cold, and on the brink, BLACKFROST takes that feeling and pushes it further into new and chilling territory. Set in a harsher, more psychological world, this sequel introduces co-op gameplay and a new mechanic, your will to live. Yes, beyond hunger and warmth, you now battle hopelessness, dread, and the fear of losing your mind in a white void. What really stands out is the emotional weight. Every decision feels personal. Do you share your last match? Do you climb higher or hunker down? It's not about crafting fast, it's about surviving slow. The game had a brief early access window, but has since gone quiet as the devs prepare for what's next. If you've played before, you know its depth. If you haven't, keep an eye out. This isn't just another survival game. It's a frozen mirror held up to your limits. Some survival games want you to suffer. Valheim wants you to build, explore, and become a Viking legend, preferably with a group of bearded friends by your side. Dropped into a vast, procedurally generated Norse purgatory, you'll start by punching trees and chasing boars. But before long, you're crafting longships, raiding mythical beasts, and constructing epic meat hulls worthy of Odin himself. What makes Valheim shine isn't just the gameplay loop, it's the vibe. The low-poly visuals are oddly beautiful, the soundtrack is peaceful, and the world always feels just mysterious enough to pull you further. And when danger strikes, it hits hard. Trolls, death squiddos, and ancient bosses aren't just roadblocks, they're rites of passage. For me, Valheim nails the balance between chill and challenge. It doesn't punish you for every mistake, but it doesn't hold your hand either. It's survival with room to breathe and to build something truly epic. Welcome to Texas, 1980, but this isn't the cowboy fantasy you're expecting. Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days is a side-scrolling survival horror that drops you into a world crawling with the undead. And short on mercy, what sets this game apart is its perspective. Instead of a vast 3D world, you're navigating buildings and streets from a 2.5D angle, looting, crafting, rescuing survivors, and trying not to get your face eaten. Every supply run feels tense. Every creaky door could mean the end. There's no power fantasy here. You're not a hero. You're just trying to stay alive, manage a group, and make impossible choices. Who eats tonight? Who rests? Who risks their life for medicine? Personally, I love the gritty atmosphere and grounded tension. It's not flashy, but it feels real in that desperate, uncomfortable way only great survival games do. If you're looking for something fresh, focused and full of dread, Our Darkest Days might just be the sleeper hit of the genre. Escape from Tarkov isn't just a survival game, it's a stress test for your soul. Set in a war-torn Russian city sealed off from the world, your one and only goal is simple: get in, loot what you can, and get out alive. But between you and the exit are hostile scavengers, brutal AI, and other players who will shoot first, always. Tarkov doesn't care if you're new. There's no map, no HUD, no mercy, you'll die, a lot. But every run teaches you something. About patience, about risk, about greed. Push too far for that rare loot, one bullet, and it's all gone. What I respect most is the intensity. Every corner you turn feels like life or death. The game doesn't hold your hand, and that's exactly why its community is so loyal. Once it hooks you, there's no going back. It's not for everyone, but if you crave tension, realism, and brutal survival, Tarkov is the high-stakes experience you've been warned about. If the first Subnautica made you afraid of the ocean, Subnautica 2 might make you afraid to sleep. Set on a brand new alien planet, this sequel keeps everything that made the original great: deep-sea exploration, oxygen management, terrifying creatures, and dials it up with co-op multiplayer and a wild new twist: DNA adaptation. Now, you can modify your body using traits from native life forms. Want to swim faster, breathe longer, glow in the dark? It's possible, but it comes with risk. While Subnautica 2 is still in development and planned for 2026, the early details already promise something special. Co-op survival, creature-based upgrades, and that haunting deep-sea atmosphere are all back, just deeper and deadlier. It's not ready yet, but for fans of thoughtful, alien survival, this one's worth waiting for. DayZ is survival at its rawest. No tutorials, no second chances, and no guarantee anyone you meet won't shoot you in the face. Dropped into a massive post-apocalyptic world, you start with nothing but the clothes on your back. Zombies roam the land, sure, but the real threat, other players. Survival here is about trust, instinct, and improvisation. You'll scavenge for food, water, weapons, and medical supplies, all while trying not to bleed out from a bad fall or spoiled can of beans. What makes DayZ legendary is the unpredictability. One moment you're helping a stranger fix a car, the next they're stealing your shoes and leaving you to freeze. It's a social experiment wrapped in a brutal survival sim. I'll be honest, it's not always fair and it's often frustrating. But when everything clicks, it's unforgettable. DayZ doesn't script your story, it hands you the tools, then watches what happens. If you want raw, unscripted survival where every encounter matters, DayZ still holds its ground. Dinosaurs, chaos, and fistfights with raptors, Ark Survival Ascended is survival at its most wild and unpredictable. This next-gen remake of Ark Survival Evolved brings a full visual and gameplay overhaul using Unreal Engine 5. You still wake up naked on a mysterious island, but now it looks sharper, runs smoother, and feels more immersive than ever. The survival loop is brutal: gather, craft, tame, build, while avoiding everything trying to eat you. What makes Ark special is how far you can go. Start with a spear, end with a fortress and a pet T-Rex. I love the scale of it. It's rough early on, but once you tame your first dinosaur, the sense of achievement is huge. Survival is never guaranteed, but the chaos is half the fun. Ark Survival Ascended is a wild ride, and one of the few games where survival means becoming the apex predator. Tired of guns and zombies, Renown brings survival back to the Middle Ages, where your biggest threats are hunger, steel, and your neighbor's catapult. Set in a fully multiplayer medieval world, Renown drops you into a land of castles, clans, and chaos. You'll gather resources, build fortifications, and engage in skill-based melee combat. Think swords, spears, and swinging axes, not sniper rifles. What stands out is the game's focus on player-driven conflict. Territories change hands, alliances form and break, and your reputation, your renown affects how others treat you. It's not just about surviving the environment, it's about surviving politics, betrayal, and war. While Renown is still unreleased and expected in 2025, early tests show huge potential for epic community-driven gameplay. If you've ever wanted to live out your nightly fantasy, or burn someone else's to the ground, this might be your battlefield. From the creators of No Man's Sky comes Light No Fire, a survival game that trades outer space for something even bigger, a planet the size of Earth. Yes, literally, the map is set to match our planet's scale, and you'll be exploring it with friends in full multiplayer from day one. Forests, oceans, mountains, the world is massive, seamless, and ready to be shaped. At its core, Light No Fire is about exploration and survival in a fantasy setting. You'll build, craft, and journey across continents, not to conquer, but to discover. No quests, no waypoints, just you, your friends, and the unknown. The game is still unreleased, expected sometime in late 2025, and details are limited. But from what's been shown, this could be one of the most ambitious survival sandboxes ever made. If Hello Games delivers on their vision, Light No Fire might just redefine what open world means. If you ever wanted a survival game that throws you into a brutal world wearing nothing but a loincloth, Conan Exiles is it. Set in the savage universe of Conan the Barbarian, this game drops you into a harsh desert where survival means gathering, crafting, and fighting your way through crocodiles, giant snakes, and rival players. It's brutal, violent, and unapologetically raw. But Conan Exiles isn't just about killing things, it's about building an empire. You can construct massive fortresses, enslave NPCs to serve as your army, and dominate entire regions. It's survival meets sandbox conquest. What stands out to me is the moral grayness. You're not playing a hero. You're doing whatever it takes to survive, even if it means becoming the villain. And honestly, that freedom is a huge part of the fun. It's chaotic, intense, and filled with did that just happen moments. If you like your survival games rough, ruthless, and a little bit unhinged, Conan Exiles delivers. Most survival games cast you as the chosen one. Outward 2 doesn't. Here, you're just a regular person, trying not to freeze, starve, or get eaten by monsters. Set decades after the first game, Outward 2 builds on its cult favorite roots with better visuals, deeper combat, and an even harsher world. You'll explore dangerous lands, manage hunger, sleep, and illness, all while learning when to fight and when to run. It's not about loot or power fantasies, it's about planning, patience, and persistence. Combat is skill-based, and poor decisions carry weight. Forget your bedroll, that could cost you a night's sleep, or your life. The game is still in development and expected to launch sometime in 2025, with promises of co-op improvements and more immersive survival systems. And if it keeps the heart of the original intact, fans are in for something special. Outward 2 is survival for thinkers, not heroes. In Frostpunk 2, survival isn't about foraging in the wild. It's about leading a desperate city through the end of the world. And this time, it's colder, crueler, and more political than ever. Set 30 years after the original, humanity is still clinging to life around massive furnaces, now fueled by oil instead of coal. As the city's leader, your job is to make impossible choices. Who gets food? Who works overtime? Who gets left behind? Morality bends, revolt brews, and the cold never stops. What makes Frostpunk 2 special is its shift toward societal survival. It's not just about keeping people warm, it's about managing ideologies, hope, and power. The threat isn't only the weather, it's you. The game is expected to launch in 2025, and if it expands on the emotional gut punches of the original, we're in for another masterpiece in misery. Frostpunk 2 doesn't ask if you'll survive. It asks what you'll sacrifice to make sure others do. Road to Vostok is a survival game with no fluff, no hand-holding, just you, a backpack, and a brutally realistic stretch of land between Finland and Russia. Developed by a solo Finnish ex-military dev, this game strips survival down to its essentials. You scavenge abandoned buildings, sneak past patrols, and manage every bullet, bandage, and breath. The goal: cross into the Forbidden Vostok zone and stay alive long enough to make it back. It's not flashy, there are no leveling systems or glowing markers. Just a quiet, eerie atmosphere and a map that punishes mistakes. One wrong move, you lose everything. Still in development and expected to enter early access in 2025, the game already has several playable demos. And from what I've tried, it feels sharp, grounded, and refreshingly focused. If you want hardcore survival with military grit, Road to Vostok might just be your next obsession. What happens when your hot air balloon crashes on a strange island full of oversized creatures, prehistoric weirdness, and magical plants? You survive, preferably with friends, in under a rock. This colorful survival sandbox supports up to 10 players exploring a procedurally generated island that's anything but friendly. Giant bugs, aggressive wildlife, and mysterious ruins await. You'll gather, craft, build, and slowly push back the dangers of this lush but deadly ecosystem. What makes Under a Rock stand out is its lighthearted tone wrapped in solid survival mechanics. It doesn't look grim, but that doesn't mean it's easy. The creatures hit hard, resources are scarce, and the weather can turn on you fast. Still unreleased and expected sometime in 2025, the game promises deep customization, base building, and cooperative chaos. If you want something that feels like Valheim meets Ark with a splash of Saturday morning cartoons, this might be your next co-op favorite. Some games leave a deeper mark than others, like how Project Zomboid quietly punishes overconfidence, or how Quite a Ride creates tension with nothing but fog and silence. And Frostpunk 2, well, that one reminds you survival always comes at a cost. 2025 is shaping up to be a bold year for survival games, some thoughtful, some chaotic, all unforgettable in their own way. Which one are you most curious about? Or is there another title you'd like to see next time? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the journey, a quick subscribe goes a long way. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe.
Yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.